It was a marvellously tight 15 minutes. Philip is joining our panel session, so hold those questions for the panel. I certainly have a couple coming out of that I'd like to put to you, but thank you very much, Philippe. We're going to move very quickly on to our next speaker. Philip mentioned Via Access as one of the providers there, so we're going to hear from Via Access now for the next 15-20 minutes. I'd like to welcome to the stage Dr. Ofer Weintraub. Sorry, that was a very quick intro.
Yeah,
It's right
it was good. It was good. Yeah.
All yours.
Okay, thank you. A couple of weeks ago, I saw this. I went to see the agenda of this conference, and I saw this title, Practical Big Data Strategies for Monetization of the TV Business. And I said, wow, that sounds interesting. Maybe I should attend. Maybe I should come and learn a few tricks and some things to my talk. But then I noticed that I'm the speaker. So I will have to talk and learn while I'm speaking. Basically, what I'd like to talk today is to share with you some of the big data initiatives that we are running in Via Access Orca and how we think of creating or how we think to monetize those services. So let's start with this. I think this is one of the early trials to do big data monetization. Do you remember this? This is called the $1 million homepage. I don't know if you remember, but there was a homepage that someone set, an advertising company, where you can buy a pixel for $1. Okay, so each pixel costs $1, and within a few weeks it was sold out. So $1 million, 1 million pixels. And if you look at some of the, there are a lot of interesting gems inside this. I mean, you go to this webpage and look at the some of the advertising. But one of the nice thing here is that, the human nature, one of my favorites is where is it? Somewhere here. It just says, I don't see it here now, but it says just more pixels. Okay, so. Just more pixels, more money. So that was 2005, $1, 1 pixel. First strategy that we look is crowd knowledge, okay? And I'll start with a personal story. Magnolia officinalis. I don't know if you know this flower, but about 6 months ago, I noticed something weird, okay? Days became longer and longer for me. So there were two options, right? Either there is some cosmic event that makes the days longer, or that maybe my nights are becoming more and more sleepless, okay? So after doing some research, it turned out to be the second option. Okay, I'm not sleeping very well, so that's the reason my days are becoming longer. And I tried to look for something natural for fixing this problem. So this flower is part of something called Relora, which is controlling serotonin and cortisol levels. So it should make you sleep, okay? That's the idea. But I was not sure that this is a good product, and I called my doctor. I said, can you tell me about this product? Is it good? So the doctors did what doctors doing. What did he do? He went to PubMed and sent me this over the mail. Look, I looked at this product. And it's not bad. This research says, if you read here, after 3 weeks of supplementation, blah, 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 Relora group compared to placebo, Relora group significantly better in mood and better in depressions, anger, fatigue, everything. So it sounds good. But he said, look, I ran this query, and there is only one result. You see, result, PubMed result number 1. Only one result. Since it's only one result, my recommendations, that's what my doctor said, No, don't buy it. Not enough evidence. But, you know, you have this, I don't know which protocol it works, but when you go to buy something, you probably know this thing, the products talk to you, you know, the products tell you, you know, buy me, buy me. So I tried to look another way, and I went to Amazon, okay? So here, this is the Relora, this is one of their products, there are a lot of others, and what you can see that 152 people bought it and gave reviews. So in general, there is 71% of the reviewers are satisfied, and the average is 3.9, which is generally means that it's quite good, right? And of course, if you go to Amazon and read the reviews, some of those it says 1 star is the people who, you know, I order it and I waited for 3 weeks and it didn't arrive, so it's even higher, okay? So I said this is actually big data, it's crowd knowledge. So it means that the product is probably good, and I bought it and it was good, it was okay, okay? We are using this concept, so the crowd says yes. We are using this concept with our recommendations engines, okay? And instead of just creating algorithms and hope that they will work, we put them in something called Amazon Mechanical Turk, and using thousands, hundreds and thousands of people, we get feedback, what works, what doesn't work, and, you know, we can improve things and really release only proven and workable solutions. Now, it's very interesting. It turned out we started with more than thousands of participants to get feedback because we thought big data, right? It turned out that this big data can go down to, so we now statistically have confidence in groups of 30 to 40 people. That's enough. You don't have to go larger than this. 30 to 40 people can provide you a very good predictor whether the algorithm works or not, because if you add more people, it just asymptotically approaches the same number. So even the big data does not have to be too big. So where's the money here? For us, of course, we just bring to the market what works. Okay, we tested it, and we don't develop things just for the development. We test things with consumers before launching them, and we just bring up things that works. So it reduces time to market, and it allows to achieve scale in low price. We can go up to really thousands of consumers or fictitious consumers and test things in a very low price and really bring stuff that works, okay? Telling stories. There is a question, general question, whether algorithms, whether the computers will be able to tell stories by themselves. And we are approaching the point where computers can create their own stories, okay? The next step is, of course, for the computer read the stories that the computers created and leave us alone, and we can go to the sea, to the beach. But right now, more and more, you can see that computers can be creative. And one example is the IBM's Watson project. I don't know if you've heard of it, but IBM, of course, you probably all remember the Big Blue, which won Garry Kasparov in chess, I don't know, 9 or 10 years ago. Later, this Watson computer by IBM won Jeopardy. And in recent months, this machine, okay, is creating recipes, MasterChef recipes. So you can actually insert an ingredient, 1 or 2, specify the region, let's say Toscana, specify the type of dish, more or less, you want to have, like pasta, and you will get hundreds and thousands of recipes classified by flavor, novelty, smell, taste, whatever you want. And the next step is to create a step-by-step instructions to prepare those recipes. So again, the magic is going out of creating good food because the computer now starting to be able to make these foods or create these recipes. So we had this idea of how we can use algorithms to create stories. And one of our products is called Deep. It's actually a system that takes the operator's catalog, video on demand, program guide, and zip it, okay? Think about Orange, 20K VOD titles, like 10K programs every month. So it can take all of this, extract the actors, extract interesting topics, and create magazines. So if you think of it, 20K video on demand titles, 10K movies, 5 to 10 stars in each, 5 to 10 topics in each. So you get hundreds and thousands of magazines that this platform can create based on the catalog. So the platform takes the catalog and create huge amount of magazines, and those magazines are updated and live in real time. So these are two examples that we are doing today with computers. So the algorithm can create stories like this, taking social information, news, Wikipedia information, other open sources, just sip a lot of data and create stories like LifePath, you know, Emil Zatopek, the legendary Czech runner, where he was born, where first awards, you know, all major event in his life, the same, which people he competed with, marriage, divorces. So all of this can be done automatically and creating pages for this platform of the Deep magazine. So it's just two pages. Of course, we can create many more pages than we do. So this platform actually take the catalog and just generate huge amount of magazines automatically out of the catalog. So where's the money here? A lot of new monetization opportunities. If you take your catalog and convert it to magazines like Vogue or Elle, so now you can really swipe pages, flip pages, insert advertising, insert merchandising. So really a lot of opportunities to monetize, and as you know, in magazine also the advertising is part of the experience. It's not so annoying as it is on the web. So really a lot of opportunities in this area. Engagement and emotional binding. This is really, really very important. The more the user is engaged, the more he spends with your content and, the magazine themselves, the more he gets exposed to the content, advertising, merchandising, etc., and the more he becomes your customer. And even if the user is not your customer, again, think about Orange and Bouygues, okay? Let's say you have a Bouygues user that Orange want to entice. Again, using those magazines, they can show what content they have, and they can really circle back or try to recruit, I would say, the customer from one operator to the other. So all of these are regarding these magazines. Exploration, third strategy. You are now landed at Amsterdam, in Amsterdam. Okay, so what do you do? Where from here? Plenty of opportunities. If you look at TripAdvisor here, it will tell you that you can do something like 200 adventures or trips in the central of Amsterdam, okay, in the center of Amsterdam. So basically, you are in Amsterdam and you can go to museums, you can go to do shoppings, I don't know, you can go to the Red District, whatever you want, okay? You have your own path. So this own path is, again, a big data problem because you have a lot of opportunities and you are the person who create your personal path. So again, with the magazines, we created something called the discovery. It helps users to discover content. And it's really through many venues and many directions that the user can discover content. Just 3 examples: trending topics, collecting topics that are now on the news and circle back to content. So Marilyn Monroe, Olympics, astronauts, you can take those topics which are in the news. It was done. It was in the news when this demo was prepared, and circle back to the operator's content. Gossip. You can show articles, news, gossip, and touch one of the actors and go to his or her filmography. Again, circle back to content. And a third example is the flea market, where you can float and show interesting content that the operator owns, but usually it's not one of the trending content or not highly popular, like Citizen Kane, for example, which is good movie, but you'll never find it in the most popular content, and really show it to the users, and the users may say, okay, yeah, I've heard about Orson Welles, I want to see this movie. So it's another way of really showing the variety of content that you as an operator have. Again, where's the monetization here? Monetize the path, okay? So as you know, if I take a sightseeing tour anywhere, if I go to Amsterdam and take the museums or the shopping path, there are plenty of monetization opportunities in the way, because I pay to the museum, I eat at the museum, I buy a souvenir, so I'm monetizing the path. So again, depending on the path that I'm taking here, I can create monetization opportunities with advertising, merchandise, sponsorship, etc. And personalization means user satisfaction, so the more the user feels that the system understands him, and in general the operator can bring the content that he or she wants, the more the user satisfaction is higher, and the more the revenues. And the last example, which I talked about, the flea market, for example, is serendipity. You don't expect and you don't search for specific content, but you just happen to see it. And when you see it, you say, wow, why not? It's interesting, let's watch it. And last and fourth example is analytics. Of course, analytics is a well-known example for big data. And here again, you remember Dr. House, where there is a patient coming, there's a problem, and the problem is aggravated all the time, and all the treatments are failing, and then towards the end of the show, of course, Dr. House aggregates all the data and come up with a solution and save the patient. So this is something that is done today also with computers. It's, again, an IBM project working with Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, taking breast cancer as a test case, and really digesting millions and millions of medical records, hundreds of thousands of potential treatments, and when a woman comes in, depending on her condition and her complaints and her status, the computer can really pinpoint the best treatment for this stage and this woman. So that's another way where the computer is now becoming a doctor using big data information. And we are not, at least not yet, we are not curing cancer, but we are using analytics to really learning everything. I don't want to say it's like the police song, every move you take, I'll be watching you, but really, 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 if the user opt in, we can understand exactly what kind of path the user take in the magazines, what they're interested, what type of content, their interaction in social networks, their interaction with the pages, with other users. So huge amount of information for personalization and potentially also for monetization by using advertising and other stuff that can adapt according to the specific user wants, I would say. So where's the money here? Personalized services, a huge amount of data that can lead to better personalization, better ad placement, new offering, and in general, better customer service, because we really know where the customer spends time, what he's doing, what he or she is doing, what they like, what they dislike. Really powerful tool to work with analytics and understand customer needs. So just to sum it up, we showed that we can work today we at least work on 4 strategies. One is using crowd knowledge to reduce time to market and create services that works, okay? We create or we tell stories with algorithms by sifting through huge amount of data and using what's called the knowledge graph to create stories. And we allow a lot of exploring, a lot of venues to explore content and create your own path to content. And finally, of course, we allow analytics and personalization and better user experience. That's it. Thank you.